Hey guys, what's up? It's Zyflin here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys the Grand Prime. Now, this was added into Warframe alongside Chroma Prime and the Rubico Prime, and it is slowly turning into my favorite heavy weapon in the game. And as I start recording, network not responding. That's nice, but hopefully it shouldn't affect our simulacrum experience at all. I've had that happen before, but yeah, this is slowly turning into my favorite heavy weapon in the game, simply because it has a base crit chance of 32% and also a base status chance of 32%, meaning you can make a crit build, you can make a condition overload build, or you can make a condition overload crit hybrid, and it just deals some insane damage. With the build that I'm about to show you guys today, take it as more of a first impressions build because I've only got one format on it. It is the standardized crit build that you would use for, just melee weapons in general before Melee 3.0. So this is pre-Melee 3.0 for anyone watching this in the future. We don't exactly know what Melee 3.0 is going to be like in terms of modding and stuff like that. But in the current meta, or how Melee is currently set up, I've just built this for crit. It takes one format, and you can get some insane damage numbers with this build alone. And like I said, it only takes one format to get to this point. You can actually get to the point with this weapon where you're dealing nothing but orange crits and occasionally red crits as well. So if you guys don't understand, 100% or a crit chance below 100% is a yellow crit, so that's your regular crit, and then a crit chance which is over 100% but below 200% is an orange crit, and then a crit chance above 200% is a red crit, right? And every time that you go up 100% critical chance, your crits are going to be dealing more damage, right? Think of it as your multiplier is getting a little bit higher because you're just having insane crit chance, right? So that's kind of how they scale crit chance in the game. Alongside that, you also have your crit multiplier, right? And that's the big factor here, because if I go ahead and show you guys the build, what basically happens is with this mod right here, Blood Rush, it's going to give you 165% critical chance, which is also going to stack with your combo multiplier. So every time you go up a gear in terms of your multiplier, you're getting more and more crit chance, right? So once you hit that 3 times combo multiplier, you're going to be dealing nothing but orange crits. Now, granted, that is at 900 hits. So this is for someone who really enjoys melee and really enjoys playing the likes of Valkyrie or a melee-based frame, and you really like heavy weapons as well. I personally am using Cleaving Whirlwinds simply because this allows me to get a lot of hits in very, very fast. Now, you're going to climb to your 2 times multiplier very fast, and that is basically what you're going to be seeing in today's video. I'm going to give you guys a little example of what a 3 times multiplier is like as well. I'll have that like playing over right now. But yeah, so just take a look at that. You know, you can see all the orange crits and stuff like that. You can see the pretty high damage numbers, and those level 155 heavy gunners get melted extremely quick, just because you're dealing insane damage with the crits. You're also stripping away their armor because you have pretty decent status chance with this build. I'm using Drifting Contact, so that's upping my status chance by a little bit, but if you're more about keeping that combo multiplier up and you're not that good at keeping that combo multiplier up, then swap Drifting Contact for body count and run the Naramon focus skill tree, because then that way you're going to keep your you're going to maintain your combo a lot better, and you're going to keep that damage for a longer period of time, just in case you mess up, right? So if we jump back to the build, I'll go ahead and explain it. We have Prime Pressure Point for our damage. We have Blood Rush for our critical chance. Organ Shatter for our critical damage. Drifting Contact to keep our combo duration pretty high because we need that combo multiplier for our critical chance to scale with it. Berserker for our attack speed, because again, whenever we crit, we're proccing stacks of Berserker, stacks up to 3 times, and it gives us more attack speed, right? So it stacks up to 75%. And then we have our elements on here. So I have Prime Fever Strike and Shocking Touch for my corrosive damage, and then I have Molten Impact on here for heat damage versus the ferrite armor. Now, of course, your elements, it all depends which enemies you're going up against, so completely blank out my elements. Really what you have to focus on is your Berserker, Blood Rush, Prime Pressure Point, Drifting Contact, Organ Shatter. Those are must-haves. And then whenever it comes to your elements, it really depends on the faction that you're going up against. So if it's Grenier, you might want to run Corrosive and Fire. If it is Grenier, but you want to prioritize Bombards, it is Radiation, and the other thing escapes me, Cold. Radiation and Cold. And then if it's Corpus, for example, maybe Magnetic and Toxin. And then if it's Infested, then you want to be running Corrosive and Fire as well, because you get more damage versus those Ancients with the Corrosive, and then more damage versus the lighter units with the Fire, right? So Your elements really depends, but everything else basically stays the same. So your Berserker, Blood Rush, Prime Pressure Points, Drifting Contact, Arcane Shatter, that all stays staple on this build. And then Stance Mod is up to you, but I prefer Cleave and Whirlwind. So in today's video, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using the Gram versus level 155 Heavy Gunners who are not paused, because if you pause the enemies in the Simulacrum while you're using melee, what happens is you're actually going to get the stealth bonus, right? I'm using Valkyrie here, but I'm going to go ahead and unequip those Arcane Strikes that I had on. And we're not going to be buffing ourselves up with Warcry at the very beginning. I'm just going to show you guys the raw damage that the Grand Prime does without any buffs or anything like that. And also the raw attack speed just with this build, just to give you guys kind of an example. So we're not getting any bonuses to our damage apart from the critical chance, plus our, our combo counter and elements, etc. So here we go. It's a very slow weapon, and what you're looking to do is you're looking to do the spinning combo right here in Cleave and Whirlwind, and that way you get in multiple hits at once. And now you can spin up to 8 times with that, and then you want to go ahead and reset. So realistically, the most difficult thing is getting your combo counter up to that 2 times, and then once you get up to that 2 times, which doesn't take a lot of hits, mind you, then you're starting to deal the massive damage. So you can see that we're dealing our orange crits pretty much from the get-go, and we're dealing pretty insane damage. Now, of course, using things like your Warcry or your Arcane Strikes or Volt Speed is going to make this a lot better. And if you're playing a melee frame and you're, a melee fanatic, then you're gonna be doing that anyway, right? So this weapon's going to feel a lot better in the hands of someone who really loves melee and a frame who really prioritizes melee over anything else. So, for example, Valkyrie. So if we were to go ahead and hit our Warcry buff, right, what's going to happen is that's going to give us more attack speed. And you can see that we pretty much start shredding through enemies' armor and their health, because we're stripping away their armor mega fast. So we're also dealing slash procs, and then we're just applying a decent amount of damage as well. So like I said, you can also build this for condition overload or a condition overload crit hybrid. It's entirely up to you, but this is just kind of the entry level build, the first impressions build, the first build that I would ever try on the Gram. The Grand Prime. I was making sure that I wasn't using the Galatine Prime because I'm so used to, using the Galatine Prime as a really good heavy weapon. But, it's just a really solid weapon. I really enjoy it. And let's just go ahead and throw on those Arcane Strikes, and you'll see that it makes a world of difference even without the Warcry buff. So, I always type in Arcane in the top left. I have no idea why. Just type in Strike, and this is 2 times fully ranked out Arcane Strike right here. So let's go ahead and use the 2 times fully ranked out Arcane Strike, and then go ahead versus these guys. You'll see that it procs pretty consistently. There it is. And now you see that we have pretty good attack speed just with the Berserker plus Arcane Strike. And then if we were to go ahead and throw our Warcry into the mix, reduce their armor, slow them down, you can see that we, melt them extremely fast. So you can get some insane damage out of the Gram just with, Valkyrie or Volt or Arcane Strikes in general. And really what you're looking to get done is get your combo counter down there in the bottom right hand corner, get that all the way up to 900, right? So you land 900 hits, that's a small number in the bottom right, land 900 hits, and then you get your 3 times multiplier, and then every single hit that you do is going to be an orange crit, even though you're still hitting orange crits pretty consistently. Every single hit that you do is going to be an orange crit, and then occasionally you're going to get red crits, and you're just going to deal some insane damage. So if you're a hardcore melee fanatic, I couldn't recommend picking up the Grand Prime more, especially if you like heavy weapons. This is just, again, like I said, probably my favorite heavy weapon in the game right now, because it has really good stats. What are we dealing with right now with my build? We got 357 slash, which is good. We got 23.9 puncture, which isn't that good for armor targets, but you see that we were taking them down extremely quick anyway. We have 95.4 impact, which is alright. We got 1.2k corrosive and then 429 heat, and then we got the 32% critical chance. Again, this is without taking into consideration blood rush here. We got a critical multiplier of 4.9, almost a 5 times multiplier, and then we have a status chance of 44.8 times because of this drifting contact. Now, like I said, if you're not that good at keeping your combo multiplier up, go ahead and replace drifting contact with body count, and also use the Narm on focus skill tree, because there is one in there called Power Strike, which basically slows the decay rate of your of your combo counter, right? It takes away like five hits every so often or something like that. I think it works like that, or you lose like half your stacks or something. I forget the exact description or exactly what it does, but it does help out a lot if you're not that good at keeping that combo multiplier up. So let's say you're playing a survival and you're just not finding out where the enemies are. Another thing that I would recommend is having your sentinel equipped, you know, having the enemy radar equivalent on here, which is animal instinct. If you have that on, pay attention to your minimap and just run towards the red triangles and then just murder them with your melee weapon, and then you should be good to go. But yeah, the Grand Prime is an extremely fun and extremely strong melee weapon. Again, this is just like an entry-level one form of build. You can do Condition Overload, you can do Condition Overload Crit Hybrid. It's really down to you, but for general content, general easy content, this is the build I would go for. This is the entry-level build to make the Grand Prime really cool, and I will be testing out different builds in the future, especially come Melee 3.0, because again, we still don't know what the deal is with Melee 3.0, when and if it's coming, but I'm excited for it, to say the least. But anyway, guys, that is going to be it for this video. If you guys enjoy it, and if I could get out of this menu, that would be awesome. If you guys enjoyed it, go ahead, hit that like button below. And if you see more Warframe content from me, hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.